This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
There are legends around here,
Who died in Meiji, fucking king of the zombies?
even if only in their own minds. Forgotten, but not yet dead.
I want to play a game.
Some have tried to stop them, but they keep coming back.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Coming to entertain you. They are the Crystal Lake Soldiers.
Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name's Isaiah, joined tonight, as always, by Mark, Sean, and Ted. How are you guys doing this weekend?
Feeling pretty good, man.
Feeling spooky.
Ooh.
I'm feeling anxious for some reason. I got Beetlejuice on the brain here. I feel a little anxious. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nice.
I like it.
With spice.
I like it.
Keep going, Ted. Keep going.
Gambling with dice.
Gonna execute those mice. This is why Ted did not continue his rap career.
Shit.
I'm more of a country singer.
Because he didn't pay the price.
Oh, nice. I love
That's
it.
why Mark's my music manager.
And that's why we failed.
Oh, man. I love it.
We're hitting Georgia with my country single. My dog ran away.
Jesus.
We lost my dog in the fog. They shot my hog in the bog.
All right.
I went to the toilet and dropped a log.
Oh, my fucking God.
We let him keep going.
Yeah, we do. Well, we do. We just let Ted do Ted.
It won't stop.
Oh, my God. I love it. So
we're recording, guys. Come
on. We are. We are recording. We have been for almost 2 minutes, and it's been almost nothing but Ted.
You can do what rappers do
what
nowadays.
the people come for. They come for me. What are you talking about?
You can do what rappers do nowadays when they can't think of a word that rhymes. They just make one up.
I like it.
Like J-Rock.
J-Rock.
Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Suck your teeth at me, man.
It happened to me, so it can happen to you.
Right? Shit.
No. If he wants to talk to me, that's fine. Just don't suck your teeth at me.
I love it. So we're continuing this week. We started last week our Halloween retrospective series, going all the way through basically the middle to towards the end of October. We covered Halloween so far. This week we're covering Halloween 2, directed by Rick Rosenthal. And I'm super excited for this. This is actually the first Halloween movie that I actually got to see as a kid. So I didn't see the original first. I saw Halloween 2, and I saw it on USA or something like that, because I had a recording of it for the longest time of both Halloween 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street 2 from USA. I think it was Up All Night. More than likely, that's what it was. And so I watched the shit out of this as a kid. And
that's an awesome way to watch it, though.
It really is. Like, honest to God, I almost watched this movie weekly with that and Nightmare 2 for the longest time. And it was obviously the edited for TV version because it was on USA. So a lot of nostalgia for this movie, especially. And this is, for the longest time, this was my favorite Halloween movie until I, grew and learned to appreciate the original one. And that honestly became my favorite. After a while. But this one is definitely very, very close and near and dear to my heart just because of how much I fucking love this movie. It's so good. And I know this is one, and we've mentioned this in many episodes, how John Carpenter just fucking doesn't like this movie, and fuck him for that, because, I mean, as much as I love Carpenter, his stance on this movie is fucking wrong. I mean, it's a classic. and it's
That's what I have in my notes.
It's like
Sorry, John Carpenter. It's his sister. It's a great sequel. F you.
it's like if you went back in time and talked to Michelangelo and he told you the Sistine Chapel was a piece of shit.
Right. Before we start into the discussion, let's go ahead and take a look at Halloween 2.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This man, he's not human.
Universal Pictures presents Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home.
Who is it?
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human. Is this some kind of a joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is.
Janet, go tell Mr. Garrett we're having trouble with the phones.
There is no place to hide. He will always find you.
What's this? It's a Celtic word. It means the Lord of the Dead.
Mr. Garrett?
Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home.
So Halloween 2 was released on October 30th, 1981, directed by Rick Rosenthal, like I previously stated. Cast includes Jamie Lee Curtis, again, back to reprise her role as Laurie Strode. We've got Donald Pleasance also returning. Charles Cypher's returning. We've got Lance Guest also. Dick Warlock playing the Shape in this one. Pamela Susan Shoop and Leo Rossi kind of rounding out the main cast. So this budget for this movie was much higher than the first movie. So the first movie had an estimated budget of $325,000. This one had $2.5 million for the estimated budget, but it only grossed about half of what the original movie grossed. So it came in at about $25 million. So it's still a decent amount for what they grossed, but not nearly as much as what the original brought in. So, with this movie, another nice little tidbit is that the mask used in the original movie obviously is back in this movie, which a lot of times doesn't happen, but because it was still readily available, they brought that back and used it for Dick Warlock, which honestly, the way that it kind of fits him, it makes it look almost more scary than how it fit Nick Castle in the first movie. I just kind of I like the look of this Michael a lot more. It's probably my favorite look for Michael Myers, honestly.
He has a more imposing look.
Yeah. Which is interesting because he's like the shortest actor out of any of them to play Michael Myers. But because they had him wear lifts and whatnot, he definitely felt more imposing just with between the camera angles and then having the lifts to make him look taller and whatnot.
That's what I was about to say. Camera angles help a lot with that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
When you use low angles, it's a dominating angle. It looks everything look intimidating.
Yeah.
I learned that from Halloween Resurrection when that guy is like, high angles boring.
Low angles scary.
And then I nearly walked out of the theater after that.
Yeah, I think this one's great too, man. I always bounce between this and Part 4 as my favorite. This one, I love how it just continues the night. I always watch it like to watch it back to back with part one because it's like one long movie. And
it's a great double.
The second act just gets more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I do like that they had that fan-made kind of edit of it where they combine both the I think it's called like the Sandman edition or something like that, where they combine both Halloween and Halloween 2 into like one super movie. But no, yeah, definitely this is like the perfect like double feature because obviously the ending of the first one is the beginning of the second movie, and honestly with this movie, I love kind of the direction Rick Rosenthal did with this and whatnot. And I know that Carpenter even stepped in for a few things with like reshoots to add more scenes and whatnot, but just kind of the look and feel of the movie. I like that it's all completely at night with this one, and it's still in the same night. And I like the kind of the deserted hospital,
yes, the
location.
hospital setting is great, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, it's so good. It's definitely not as good as the first movie, but I mean, it's so good. It's so close.
It's okay,
in
Isaiah.
quality.
You can be wrong. I love
He's
this
used
movie
to it by now, or should be. I mean,
Shut up.
At least he's used to disagreeing with me.
Yeah. On some things, I mean, me and Mark generally tend to agree on a lot of things with movies.
This was the first movie that gave me nightmares.
Really?
So it's very special to me.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I love this movie so much, man. The ramping to more kills, more action, the just the thought of from the first movie to this one, you really get the feeling that this entity will never stop ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so looming. And then he melted that nurse's face in the hot tub and gave me nightmares for like a year.
Yeah.
Best kill in the movie for me is that one. That's my favorite.
That's my
kill.
absolute favorite kill in the movie.
That's probably the best kill.
I do like that after you have the beginning of this movie that is, just the end of the first movie. You kind of have that POV shot of Michael walking again through the alleys and whatnot, leading up to where he steals that knife from the Elrod's house as they're watching Night of the Living Dead, and she's making that sandwich for him.
Oh, it's great, man. It's like we're watching his little escape.
Yep.
And he can't help but get another little kill in.
I love how the horrible TV edit has it edited to where it makes it look like Michael killed the old couple.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because she turns around, she screams, but then they show a still shot of Michael, but you can tell it's the basement of the hospital because of all the industrial stuff in the background. It's so freaking hilarious, but it doesn't match up with anything. That's like one of the great. I mean, if you have not seen the TV edit of Halloween 2, that Shout Factory always includes in their releases, you need to watch it because it's hilarious.
It's so good.
It's one of the most incompetently edited things I've ever seen in my entire life.
But it's fun.
It is.
And that's saying a lot.
And
Loomis again is freaking amazing in this.
Yes, I was just about to say because we see him running up. I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. But yeah, his character in this is so good. Donald Pleasance was in the first 6 movies, and rest in peace because he couldn't be in anything after that because he passed away after Curse of Michael Myers was finished. But he was like the heart and soul of all these movies.
No one wants to say how that's a big reason why they never feel all the way the same anymore either.
Yeah, it's very true.
That is the truth. It's like the Captain Ahab hunting the white whale is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. He's a major part of the story.
He's like the Batman to Michael's Joker or whatever, however you want to make the analogy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so like Dick Warlock is probably my favorite. Well, not necessarily my favorite Michael, but he was for the longest time. One thing that I found really interesting is that he had said that the reason why he got the role of Michael Myers is he went in for an audition and they actually had the mask on sitting on a table. So he put it on and wore it and walked into Rick Rosenthal's office and just stood there. And then Rosenthal just continually asked who he was, and he didn't reply. And then he just took off the mask and asked if he could play Michael Myers. So.
That man knew how to get a job. He was smart.
Rick Rosenthal's like, I'm busy trying to make a movie. Yes, you can be in it. Now leave me alone. I'm going over budgets and scheduling calls and all this stuff. Just stop staring at me. You can do it.
I like that. That was a perfect way to get the job.
Oh, no kidding. And, with this movie, even though it didn't gross nearly as much as the first movie, it still outgrossed many of the other horror movies that came out during that year. So you had stuff like the Howling, Friday the 13th Part 2, and The Final Conflict. It still made more money than all those movies. So it's still very profitable for the movie.
It's not the worst thing either, because it allowed them to just not care what he did with 3, which is the hugest debate probably of the series, whether that's a good movie or not. But I think it's a good movie, and
it's a really good movie.
We wouldn't have it if this movie didn't slightly underperform in the box office.
I mean, I understand why people hate it, but I think if they would just think of it as, what is it, Season of the Witch? Yeah. They would think of it as just that.
When I was a kid, I'd never seen it, and I hated it because there's no Michael. I hate that. But that's like some simple kid logic. Once I grew up, I watched it and was like, damn, that was really stupid of me.
Right.
Great movie.
It would have made sense if they would have gone with their original idea of making an anthology series instead of continuing with Michael in Part 2. That would have made a lot more sense. So I think they should have just taken the Halloween name out of the title, and that movie would have gotten rave reviews. It would have just been a banger.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because Halloween 3 is a very, very competent, very well-made movie.
Yes, it's a very good movie.
I watch it every October.
Yes. Oh, same.
Yeah.
I love me
we got a severe lacking of actual Halloween movies to watch during Halloween that time that take place during the actual holiday. So when you got one like that that's good, you got to watch it every year, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I'm with you.
Right.
This is a completely out of nowhere comment on the movie, but I love when the little boy is coming in with his mom with the razor blade stuck in his mouth. It reminds me of my parents constantly searching my candy, scared to death that somebody put something in my candy, which of course there never freaking was. But
they're making a movie about it that you can go see, Sean.
That's for sure.
That mainly started because some guy murdered his own children.
Yeah,
he failed.
I know the story.
No, he failed. Yeah. The kid lived.
Yeah,
he failed.
Some idiot tried to actually do that.
Kid lived.
Yeah,
he tried to poison his kid.
He fucked up, and now everybody started X-raying their freaking candy.
Which honestly, it's not a terrible protocol to have.
No. I check my kid's stuff. I don't
and then you get to steal some.
It. Yeah, you take the pieces you want, throw away anything that's open, and move on. Like we used to hand out popcorn, and we'd see some of the parents just throw it away because they didn't want to give it to their kids. I mean, we bagged it up, but
God, there were so many people when I was growing up that would do popcorn balls and stuff like that.
I loved popcorn balls growing up. It was one of my favorites. It was so good.
Gotta do something different, man.
I don't know if I told you guys this story, but the best thing that I always got on Halloween night when I was younger was we had this older lady that made pillows throughout the year, and she gave out pillows every year to all the kids instead of candy and stuff like that. And
that's cool.
Literally, you would walk into her house, she would have you come inside, and you could pick whatever pillow that you wanted.
That's better than Mr. Feeney and his rulers. So.
Can I borrow some candy? My rulers aren't a popular item. So.
Oh man, Halloween 2 though, man, great movie, and I think a freaking amazing ending, dude. Epic ending.
Oh, I was gonna say before we got to the ending, one thing that I really do appreciate about this movie is they really do make you feel really bad for Laurie in this movie. because it's like she doesn't even get a chance to grieve her best friends that are dead, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Yeah.
One long night of terror, man.
Yeah.
And she's drugged up, man, from all the hospital stuff.
Yeah.
She's all like passing
that's-
out and blurred vision and all that crap.
When she's in the parking lot and she sees them going in and she's like trying to scream for help, that's like out of like a nightmare.
A nightmare, yeah.
It's like I want to scream, but I can't. Oh, I love that part.
It's like those nightmares when you're running and you can see like safety, but then you start running slowly all of a sudden, and or you get stuck or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the epic ending, man. I love the way
it was so
them
fucking
fighting
badass.
inside the thing, you're hearing the swish of the scalpel and blowing his ass up.
And then you see him coming down the hallway on fire.
I was
That
like,
so
damn,
fucking
you
badass.
can't be stopped.
That steelbook from Shout Factory was so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only reason to want to buy it was because of that. I mean,
glad-
I have
I'm
the
glad-
movie. If you didn't have the movie, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. Now that the 4K sets are coming out.
Oh,
I'm just
same.
glad I didn't spend
You
money
could have
on
bought
that.
the steelbook and just put the 4K disc in it.
I mean, that is true, but at the same time,
I like the slip box though that they're going for with these new releases. It looks great. So I'm good.
I agree. Yeah, you know, the steelbook looked great for that, but then also like recently NECA announced the new 2-pack for Halloween 2 that has Michael and Loomis, and they've got accessories to make Michael look on fire, which is fucking great.
Awesome.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I knew about the figure, but I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
That's
I
awesome.
feel like
Cool,
we
though.
mentioned that on the show at some point, so I think they owe us money.
Right?
I feel like we said that somebody should do that, and now they're doing it.
We did.
I just think it's awesome because when I was a kid, I would actually have to set my figures on fire.
Oh, Ted's name is Sid. He's from Toy Story.
I love it.
Those are some cool toys, man.
Where's that wimpy cowboy at?
Shit. So I'm sure you guys knew this, but you know, when Alice is talking to her friend on the phone, the voice on the other end is Nancy Loomis, who played Annie in the original Halloween. So she had basically played two characters in this movie because obviously she was her, you know, Annie as the corpse, and then played Alice's friend over the phone.
She was talking to the ghost of Annie on the phone. She thought she was talking to her friend.
Oh man!
Was that spin-off series Alice the Medium?
Right? Shit, I love it.
Love how that was just added as an afterthought because Carpenter's like, we need to compete with all these other bloody movies now, so let's get more blood and stuff in here.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
we'll
I'm glad
add
you
this.
mentioned that. I heard Rosenthal kind of went with the same approach as the first one, but then Carpenter came in and was like, "Nope."
Yeah,
We need more. Yeah.
if you listen to the commentary from Shout Factory with the Rosenthal and Leo Rossi, the scenes that Carpenter directed personally, like all the extra blood stuff, Rosenthal is quiet because he didn't have anything to do with that and he has nothing to say. Of course, Leo Rossi is great, and Leo Rossi never shuts up, so I love it.
Yeah.
But once you get to those specific scenes that Carpenter directed personally, Rosenthal's just dead quiet.
Yeah.
He didn't want. If you can't say nothing good, don't say anything.
That's very true.
Well, it's not even. I don't even know if he likes it or hates it. He's just, I have nothing to do with this. I don't know what to say because I wasn't there to shoot this part.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
By me saying quiet, like he'll talk to Rossi, but he won't say anything about the scene in particular. That's what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't watched the with the commentary on those. It's
They're
been a
good,
long
especially
time.
3. 3's a good commentary, also with Tommy Lee Wallace.
Okay. I do like that Tommy Lee Wallace was actually offered the opportunity to direct this movie originally before it went to Rosenthal. And obviously he didn't end up doing it because he had his own ideas for what he wanted to do with the project, and obviously that's not how they wanted to go with it. But
Yeah, he wanted to do something completely different, and he felt like it's just the same movie as Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, so, but he's just like, that's why he jumped at the chance for Halloween 3 when they said, yeah, it's going to be different, no Michael or any of this stuff. So he's like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, which he did a phenomenal job doing that. So, and
yeah,
we'll talk
Halloween
more about
3
that.
is great.
Yeah, so I do like that he was offered it because I mean he had so much to do with the original movie and everything, and so for them to offer him the opportunity to direct too, I thought was the right move. Even though it didn't end up working out in the end, but because he is very talented, that's for sure. Tommy Lee Wallace is fucking talented as hell. So,
I mean, he did Friday Night Part 2. I mean, I love Friday Night Part 2.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
That's my
Great
favorite
movie.
Friday
Still
Night
needs a damn Blu-ray release.
Right.
An official United States Blu-ray release.
Yeah, because
Before
we've
I
got
get
that one
corrected.
we've got that one from Spain.
Yeah. Which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It looks great, man. That disc is awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love if Shout or somebody grabbed that.
Somebody could do
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, I'd pick that up day one.
No doubt.
I'd be like, sorry, Black Widow. Friday Night Part 2 is calling me.
Shit. I love it. So we talked about our favorite kills in this, and it seems universally to be that hot tub scene. Is there any particular scare that you think is effective with this movie, or the most effective?
Don't everybody speak at once.
We're thinking.
Well, I'll start.
Time for thinking.
Kind of going back to that scene with Alice talking on the phone with her friend. That one is the one that got me when I was a kid, with him jumping out of nowhere basically and stabbing her. That was the one scare that always got me as a kid.
I think for me it would be the hot tub death.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she's sitting there, she thinks it's Bud. She's talking, she's like, I gotta get back on the floor. And she's like kissing his fingers and everything, and she's like, don't be mad. She turns around, and then there, bam, oh no, it's Michael, not Bud. And Friplin throws her, drowns her in the hot tub with the heat rising.
Yeah.
Just that whole thing. She doesn't know she's talking to her killer.
Yeah.
Right there. She's,
okay, I can
it's
respect
it's creepy.
When special security guard Greg gets killed in the basement.
That poor guy.
Sorry.
Shit. That poor guy. A hammer to the head. Jesus.
No, that's not the most scary scene. I knew I could squeeze it in there at some point.
I mean, the hot tub scene really scared the pants off of me when I was younger. But I think we talked about earlier where she was running from Michael and she was trying to hide in the cars and she was screaming. You don't know where Michael's at. That was pretty suspenseful, and I thought the whole scene was scary as crap.
And then Lance Guest shows up, and you think it's Michael. He gets in the car, and he's like, "We're gonna get out of here." But then he has that concussion or whatever, and he passes out, and his head hits the horn, so the car's all going.
Yeah, that whole scene was so scary.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm with you on that one, Mark. I like that whole scene, man, and her just when she's crawling on the ground right after that and screaming for them as they go on. All of
Help me!
Frick, man.
Yeah, that's pretty tense.
Help
that whole scene is pretty tense.
Yeah, like I said, this movie really makes you feel sorry for Lori.
Yeah,
I agree, 100%.
Who's a more what's the word I'm looking for?
Sympathetic.
Sympathetic character, Lori or Jamie?
Jamie.
I would agree with Jamie.
Poor
girl
little kid, man.
Didn't have a chance, man.
And we'll talk more about that when we talk about 4, 5, and 6.
You don't tell me what to do, Isaiah. I'll talk about it right now if I want to. Darn it! You hear me?
Ted, you do what you want anyways, so I mean...
That's been my
Mr.
favorite graffiti so far, man. I'm going to interrupt you. I don't give a shit.
I'm going to say Lori because she got rewritten into oblivion in different sequels.
I mean...
Bad for that
Her terrible kill and resurrection.
I'm going to say Jamie because, darn it, Jamie got retconned after Kurt.
She
was forced to have her uncle's baby.
Well, all of Lori's kids, everything got retconned.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but nobody cares about John Tate.
What about Ben Tramer? Who cares about Ben Tramer? The poor guy.
He's alive.
He's
alive now. If we're going to talk about rewritten continuity, he lives.
He's alive currently.
Halloween feels like pick your own adventure.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Starting to feel like the new Marvel universe.
So Loki crap's getting out of hand, man.
Loki, just stop.
Halloween Nexus War.
I like it.
Different Michaels fight each other. Which one will win? Which one will lose?
They can squeeze Jason versus Freddy versus Ash in that. I'm with it.
I like it.
They'll have a copy of the comic book in that movie, and that's it.
Yeah,
some kid will be reading it.
It should be Freddy versus Jason versus Michael versus Godzilla versus Kong.
I love it.
Versus Pinhead versus Chucky.
Yeah.
Versus Puppet Master.
Versus the IRS.
Or Pee-wee and
it's definitely a full moon movie. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, that's too good.
Evil. Wasn't this a review about Halloween 2, guys?
Oh, I thought we were pitching movies.
Versus Mannequin 3. I'm sorry.
Shit. I love it. Oh man. Yeah, the ending of this fucking movie is just phenomenal.
It's epic.
It's so fucking epic.
Awesome.
It couldn't have been captured more perfectly too. I mean, just the cinematography, especially with him walking down the fucking hallway on fire, so fucking good. I mean, him getting his fucking eyes shot out and just the blood
and
tears.
You're so certain that Loomis is going to bite it in this scene. It's like he is so close.
Yeah. It was the perfect ending for this, and you know, if they would have went the anthology route after this fully, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect ending of Michael, just him getting just blown the fuck up. But obviously he'll be back in Halloween 4, and we'll talk more about that here in a couple weeks. But
yeah, you say that. I think all the series have a good final ending, but all of them just keep going. So,
right.
Anyway.
Exactly. I would agree. What would you
guys? What's your favorite Loomis line in this movie?
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. That's so.
He's
iconic.
not human.
Yeah, he's not human. That's another good one.
Sean, what's your favorite Loomis line in this movie?
I don't know, man.
I don't think I can think of enough of them to tell you my favorite.
I don't know, man. It just as a whole.
What do the guys do? You always fire a warning shot, right? I still find it hilarious how he keeps mispronouncing Samhain as Sam Hain. Halloween 2 made me think that's exactly how you pronounced it. So for years, I kept saying Sam Hain.
That's because that's the logical way to pronounce it, Ted.
It's a logical way to pronounce it. It's Samhain. I was just like, I'm with John Carpenter now. I hate Halloween 2. It made me mispronounce the word. How dare Halloween 2 do that? The festival of Sam Hain. Like it's Samhain.
I do love his impatience in the dental office. He's like, well, that's not it. It's got to be him. It can't be him. We got to keep going. I don't think
Michael Myers is 21.
Yeah. No matter what they had said, he wasn't going to accept that shit.
Right.
Do you think Loomis just became a narcissist and is like, I just want to kill him instead of taking credit?
At that point, that's all he cared about. It was stopping him. There was nothing else that mattered.
Right. It's like Halloween 4. Why'd you let them take it out of here? We're talking about evil on 2 legs. Sex bodies. That's what I've seen, Sheriff, between here and Ridgemont. Guys, you gotta stop me or I'll just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, Ted. I mean, wear yourself
He's
out.
here to kill that little girl and anyone who gets in his way.
Shit. I do love Halloween 4. I
Let's
really
go to
do.
Halloween 5 when he's just grabbing kids and shaking them. That's my favorite.
Oh, jeez.
You know how to stop him, Jamie.
She needed to speak the hell up already.
Right?
Not as
Loomis
quick
just
as
gets
it.
more psychotic.
Pull that
as
mask
the
off that
movie
other
goes.
little girl thinking it's JV. The sheriff's like, Lewis, what are you doing?
Tired of these freaking kids.
Tina, be sensible. Stop her. He's trying to order police around. They're like, get you, old man. She hasn't done anything wrong. We can't hold her.
This police force was a lot more cooperative 20 years ago.
Right?
Don't be a police officer in Haddonfield, I'll tell you that.
Right?
Life expectancy drops extensively.
That's for sure.
You're better to be a police officer in Crystal Lake than you are in Haddonfield.
Take off during Halloween. You'll be all right.
Perfect time to take a vacation.
That's when you find out you're related to the Myers family somehow. You're like fourth cousin twice removed by marriage. So Michael's after you. This is when Blumhouse makes like their 10th Halloween movie, and that's just how bad it's gotten at that point.
Yeah.
So we find out that Michael is a distant cousin of Jeff Bezos, and that's how we get Michael.
Shit. Oh my god, I love it. Fuck. All right. Just to kind of wrap things up with this, what would you guys rate this movie?
5 out of 5.
I gave the last one a 5, so this one's at least a 12. No, I was kidding. 5 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 5. It's a solid sequel. It's a great follow up. Like we said, it's like just one long movie. Watch it back to back with Carpenter's original. It's just a great movie.
All right. I like it. It is definitely a solid sequel for me as well. I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 5 on this one. I do like the original better, but it's still so solid. It's very, very close in quality, in my opinion. I fucking love this, and it's definitely one I watch right after Halloween 1 every year. So it's definitely 4.5 out of 5 for me. And we would love to know what you guys think as well. You can always reach out to us through our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at CLS Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and as we've been saying, we hope that you continue to join us as we go through this Halloween retrospective series, as we go all the way through Halloween Kills in the middle of October of this month, and then we'll do a final ranking towards the end of the month. But like I said, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Are there any final words as we leave today?
Go see Mannequin 3 coming soon to a theater near you.
Hey, if you shoot something 6 times in the heart, man, you might want to get a bigger gun next time if it didn't work.
Shit, that's right. Ain't that the truth? Oh, shit. All right, well, we will see you guys next week.
This episode of the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.